Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to share with you another recipe. This is brown butter Einkorn chocolate chip cookies, a new favorite. I know I say that all the time, but it's true. So I'm going to dive right in and tell you how to make these for your family. So this is the process of browning the butter. And if you have been a baker for a while, you probably know that traditional cookie recipes do call for browning the butter. I know when I was a kid, I used to watch cooking shows with my mother, and we would, watch them make the dough with browned butter, and then they would put it in the fridge, and it was this whole process. But then when I got to be an adult and I moved out by myself and I was working in the city, I started making cookies kind of every week, and I stopped doing that because I was like, I don't think I really need to. I kind of was experimenting with my own recipes at that point. Anyway, long story short, is I just dropped that entirely, and I have kind of rediscovered it 20 something years later, and it has worked really, really well for this cookie recipe. I'm using einkorn flour here. Einkorn is a non-hybridized grain. It's higher in protein and lower in gluten. And if you've never tried einkorn, I highly recommend it. Now you can make this recipe without einkorn flour, and on the blog post I have the conversion. Basically it's a little bit less flour because it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but I will read you this recipe. So you're gonna do 1 stick of butter that's been browned and cooled slightly, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/2 cup brown sugar, 1/3 cup white sugar, 1 2/3 cup einkorn flour, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and then 1 large cup of chocolate chips. Browning the butter basically evaporates some of the moisture out of the butter and creates a very rich, fatty, texture and substance that goes in your cookies and makes them just really delicious. It also adds a specific flavor. It's kind of like a nutty, roasted, like toasty marshmallow kind of flavor, and you'll know when you're browning the butter, you'll smell it. All of a sudden it will get brown and it will smell really toasty and delicious. So I've been doing this from now on. Now I had to change my schedule a little bit because I used to make cookies really late at night for my husband and I, but you can't do these, quickly. You have to make them ahead of time because they have to sit in the fridge. So you are gonna make your dough, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge. But don't look at this as a curse, look at it as a blessing, because you can either put them in the fridge in the morning, the morning before you want them, or anytime that you're free. Just make them ahead of time. And then when you want them, they'll be ready to put right into the oven, which saves you a lot of time in the evening if you're like me and you wait until really late to figure out a dessert. So now the other thing about this recipe is I've been freezing the cookie balls, so you can also, if you don't need all of them right now or you want to make them way ahead of time, you can scoop them out, roll them into balls, and then put them in a bag and freeze them. In this video, I had already made some cookies the night before, so you'll see not as many on this baking tray. But you can go ahead and keep this dough in the fridge for a few days, and it's totally fine to pull out if you want cookies every night kind of thing. These come out just beautifully. I can't tell you enough how happy I am that I've returned to browning butter and making the cookies this traditional way. And with einkorn flour, it's my new favorite. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. I'll leave a link below to the full blog post. You can print it out and have it ready to go. Save it in your recipe book. If you're brand new to my channel, I'd love if you hit that subscribe button. Every week I get out new videos on farm-to-table recipes and homemade natural living. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duvall Homestead.